someone told me about why I have a bot problem on things like Kick. It apparently seems that somehow Kick knows that I look up Warhammer stuff. And by looking up Warhammer stuff, I've given the internet the impression that I am somehow really fucking stupid, that I'm a lonely, basement-dwelling geek nerd with minimal to no human interaction. For one, I work 2 jobs. I deal with people, whether I want to or not. 2, let me explain to you something about Warhammer, for those of you who have no exposure to it whatsoever. The models have stats. There is a 5.5 step process to play through a turn, as well as things to do while the opposite person is going through a turn. So I have to know what inches are. I have to know how to utilize a tape measure. A stupid motherfucker doesn't even know what that is. If I decide I want to move more than that unit's predetermined movement characteristic, let's say I'm a little soldier who starts out with a 6-inch movement, and I can roll a dice. I have to be able to count the dots on the dice, add that to my movement characteristic, move that distance by using a tape measure to measure the straight line or to measure the distance, turn the tape measure and go the rest of the distance. Or if I hop over a fucking wall to subtract inches because of the terrain navigation. A stupid motherfucker couldn't do that. Oh yeah, and Warhammer involves people interaction, which means going out of the basement that I don't have to play this fucking game with people. I can know that if I do or don't have a jetpack, or what keywords I do or don't have, I can treat terrain differently. If I have a psyker, I'm going to skip that because I usually don't use them, but it's roll 2 dice, and if it's double 1 or double 6, you take damage and you might die and maybe explode and kill other people next to you. Add up numbers, see if you manifested power enough to do certain things. I can look at the thing and know that I need a certain number to shoot something and hit something, to compare one number to another to determine what I need to roll in order to do damage to somebody, and how much damage I can do by looking at the damage characteristic. I know how to, when it's being done to me, how to determine what I need to roll in order to not be damaged by something that has hit me. And to be able to differentiate between an armor save, an invulnerable save, and what I like to call an after save. For those of you who actually play Warhammer, Disgustingly Resilient if you're Death Guard, or the Stimulant Auto Injector if you play Tau with a battle suit. I know how to determine whether or not I'm within 12 inches of something that I want to run at and try to hit physically. I know how to roll 2 dice, add the numbers, figure out whether or not I make it into that fight. I know how to roll Overwatch, roll saves against Overwatch shots, and how to take morale tests. That takes a lot of thinking. So someone who can do that much thinking, as well as being able to load or unload one of these, how to disassemble it, clean it, reassemble it properly, perform a functions check, and place this in a holster without having to turn around and look at my fucking self. I have a weird fucking holster, so I do have to reach back here and pull my belt out of the way without getting my hand in front of my fucking muzzle, so that if I shot anything off just now, I would have shot the chair and maybe singed my ass cheek, but not blown my fucking hand off. If I can do all that fucking shit, then what makes you think, internet, that I'm so fucking stupid that I can't tell that it's a robot talking to me as opposed to what you want it to look like, which is some kind of whore that has mistakenly taken interest in my minimal money ass. I want you to think about that fucking shit while I find the off button on this bitch.